10 years ago, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan hopped in a snowplow on his first day in office to assess how well the government he'd just taken charge of was performing its most basic service. It was a make or break moment for the Motor City, having just become the largest municipality in American history to file for bankruptcy. 100 years earlier, in the Roaring '20s, Detroit vied with Chicago and New York to be the skyscraper capital of the world. In the 1950s, its population peaked at 1.8 million, but decades of factory closures, rising crime, and migration to the suburbs cut it by nearly 2/3 to just 680,000 in 2013. Too small a tax base to pay the city's bills without help from the state of Michigan and federal government. Luckily, the newly elected mayor knew exactly what to do.
But we won't come out of bankruptcy until we do have the prospect for a balanced budget going forward. Then, of course, the question is, are we competent enough to manage so we never slip back again? And that's going to be my role.
Duggan's plan focused on performing the city's core services well again. And after a decade of hard-fought, incremental progress, the results speak for themselves.
New equipment helps with emergency response times. Detroit is already below the national average at 7 minutes and 33 seconds. For context, before bankruptcy, wait times could top 20 minutes.
Turns out the best way to cut down emergency response time is to cut the number of emergencies. Most calls had been the result of crime in and around Detroit's 40,000 abandoned houses.
Every time I leave home to go to church or anything, and come back home, I'm afraid.
You cannot legally leave your property in a way that's a nuisance. If we take down the houses that can't be saved and we sell what's left, I think people will value that.
I agree with him wholeheartedly. The house has been vacant for the last 4 years I've been here.
In the first 2.5 years of the policy, the city leveled and hauled away 10,000 condemned residences and immediately saw benefits.
Fires are down 25% in 2.5 years. An independent report found properties within 500 feet of a city demolition increased nearly 5% in value. That's a $209 million improvement citywide.
The Sanders, who've lived on their block for 61 years, were eager for the scheduled takedown of 17 rotting structures the next day.
I feel a lot safer because it's hard at night to walk down the street because you never know who's going to come between the house.
You might take a few more evening walks?
Might.
Wait and see.
Yeah.
79-year-old Lucille Carpenter remembers years ago when her now ghost town of a neighborhood was thriving.
Doctors and some lawyers and people own an undertaker shop and stuff like that.
Duggan has turned the page to a new chapter in Detroit's history, overseeing the renovation or demolition of 35,000 abandoned homes across the city. Fewer than 4,000 remain today. The project has been boosted by $265 million in funding from the Obama-Biden administration. In neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood, the mayor's team has wiped the slate clean, creating the physical space for people to invest in new builds in the years ahead, while stimulating the fastest growth rate in existing home values in the country, because demand is up. Last year, Detroit added 1,800 residents for a net increase in population for the first time in 70 years. Some of these newcomers are working at Michigan Central, Ford's just completed billion-dollar restoration of the abandoned Grand Old Rail Station into a research hub.
From my first day in office, getting that train station reoccupied was a central focus. There was no way it was going to be demolished. It just meant too much to too many generations.
In the EV world, the digital vehicle world, the train station felt like the right kind of challenger project so that we could be part of the revitalization of Detroit, which had really been kind of used by almost the national media as a example of the decay of the country. And this felt like the kind of project that would be emblematic of our recovery as a company.
Many of Detroit's other vacant skyscrapers and factories are being restored and repurposed. The University of Michigan, a top 5 public research university, is located just 30 miles away. To strengthen its talent pipeline into downtown, it's building a $250 million grad school and center for innovation. Detroit lies just across the river from Canada, part of the longest international border in the world. The Ambassador Bridge that crosses it here is currently the busiest checkpoint along that border. Now, a second, larger bridge is nearly complete that will provide uninterrupted freeway traffic flow by linking Highway 101 in Windsor, Ontario with Interstate 75 in Michigan. Detroit's entire waterfront has been turned into a series of parks and paths, and construction has begun to link up more of the city through the Joe Louis Greenway, creating a 27.5-mile recreational loop. The city's comeback was in the national spotlight during this April's NFL draft, which brought hundreds of thousands of fans into Detroit.
Everybody's talking about Detroit. I feel like we are a 10-year overnight success.
The key to all this success has been Detroit's ability to cut crime in what had been, for decades, one of the most dangerous cities in the country. By building a much more capable police department, carjackings are way down, and last year, the DPD investigated the fewest murders since 1966. For his department's performance, Police Chief James White has received national recognition.
The year I started, Detroit was had the highest homicide rate in America, but in February, you got called to the White House to lead a national conference on how other cities should reduce the crime rate. Now, what was it like standing with the president?
So I can go to barricaded gunmen. I can go to narcotics raids and not have a problem talking to the officers or the media, but standing next to the president as you're speaking, let's just say for a second I forgot my name.
It also helps to have a police chief who's an expert on the plague hitting America since the pandemic, the mental health crisis.
Tell me how a guy who's working full-time as a cop starts taking college classes in mental health.
Well, I have a loved one that's been in mental health crisis his whole life. The revolving door of the system would be that when he would go manic, we would take him to various facilities and they would release him and back onto the street. And, you know, he would find himself in many different situations. Sometimes I would get a call and sometimes I wouldn't. He's not responsible for his conduct. He has a condition he didn't ask for, didn't want, but it affects his everyday thinking patterns. So I wanted to understand it better. I took a class here and there and it became very interesting to me. And then it became almost my responsibility as a person who cared for him and a person who was an assistant chief at the time and the biggest department in the state to know a little bit about something that's impacting our day to day. And I continued to go and pay and, a lot. And when I was done, I had my master's and I said, I'm gonna go get my license and start doing therapy.
This background sparked White's idea to create a new unit specializing in peacefully resolving the dozens of mental health emergency calls the city now receives each day.
Look, we got all the time you need.
And you throw it away so I can come to your house. Please drop it. Good job.
Good job, good job, good job, good job. Pull out the gun.
Martin, what has you irritated?
Can y'all stop? Come on, please, no. I want to leave. This is not about to call for me. I'm not on shit. I'm not going to pull out the gun, none of that.
You just trying to help.
I'm not going to pull out the gun.
Martin, what has you irritated today?
How you know my name?
Mom, she let us know.
What the? You good, bro? Let's just relax. Come up off that, man. Hey, look, let me get this some more mess. Let me grab that from you. Here, look, I got you, bro. Look, I'm good. Just let me get that. I ain't on nothing. No. You good. You good, bro. You straight, like I told you, man. Where's that, right here? You good. What's it, the FN? You good, bro? Like I told you, we good. Let me just search you up, all right? You ain't got nothing else? All right, put your hands down, man. You good. Relax. You good. Relax. Calm down. This ain't, relax, bro. You good. This your fam?
I don't know who that is, though.
Like your brother, right? It's your brothers?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, bro. You good, man. Don't worry about it, all right? Hey, hold him back, though. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, man. Hey, which one?
Anybody ride with him?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Just slide over.
Slide over.
All right. Your officer walked up and took a live gun from a very unstable individual, and then they walked him without handcuffs with his family to the car. Now, I got to tell you, I'm watching that video thinking those last 4 or 5 steps had to be scary for that officer, and yet they didn't hesitate.
They didn't, and that's the training. And what you didn't see is the first officer who was concentrating on him, had he went for the gun, would have addressed him. The second officer is working off the first officer, and once he builds that rapport, he's then giving him the signal to come in and get the gun. And so it worked to perfection. Doesn't always work to perfection, but that's what this training does. It brings in a different uniform. It brings in different lights. The first name is on the uniform and not the sergeant or the officer, whomever, and it de-escalates the environment.
So we got a second call here last year. A woman threatening suicide had 2 knives. Look at how different this response is than drop the knife or I'll shoot.
Why should I care about anything in this world?
Because we want to help you. We want to help you. Whatever you want to do, we want to make sure you can do that.
You want to
okay? I do.
This shit.
No.
And allow us to help you where nobody else has in the past. We're a new unit. We're a different unit. We're a different kind of police. And you can trust us, okay? And we don't want to see you hurt yourself. We don't. Like I said, you sound intelligent and you're beautiful, okay? And you deserve a chance.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're going to help, okay?
Good.
Can we get the other one?
Please.
Thank you so much.
Please.
We appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Drop it, yep. Okay.
Come on, honey.
That's it, that's it.
Come on, honey.
You got it. Just drop it.
Can I give you a hug? Can I give you a hug, honey?
Mayor Duggan knows much more needs to be done for those still feeling left behind.
We have to shift. We were at one point 40% of the city in poverty. Now we're at 30%. We need to be down dramatically lower than that. And so as we continue to build, and there's going to be another decade of building already on the books, we need to make sure it's Detroiters who are benefiting from the jobs.
A new 145,000 square foot skilled trades training center will help up to 1,500 Detroiters each year level up to get these great jobs.
They're going to just come to school an 8-hour day every 2 weeks. Their contractor pays them to come to school. You earn while you learn.
We've got more construction going on today than we've had in nearly 70 years between auto plants and hockey arenas and high-rise office buildings and housing projects.
With a decision looming about whether he'll seek a 4th term as mayor, Duggan recently reflected on his decade so far in office.
We've talked about Detroit's future. What about Mike Duggan's future?
I never intended to be mayor of Detroit. The city was in crisis and I thought I could help. I think if there is one thing that I have done that will be lasting in the city of Detroit is I've taken the us versus them politics out of the city. Mm-hmm. It used to be black versus white, city against the suburbs, city against Lansing, mayor against unions. Everything was us versus them. And you've seen, not just in the mayor's races, but the city council races, the council members who are succeeding are staying away from the us versus them rhetoric and bringing everybody in. To stop the animosity, don't tell you why you hate the other guy, tell him what you're going to do for him.